President Donald Trump has warned that if Iran refuses to reach a nuclear agreement, the consequences could be severe. Speaking after a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Trump indicated that the United States is prepared to take decisive action if negotiations fail. He also revealed that Washington is considering deploying a second aircraft carrier strike group to the Persian Gulf. This statement came just hours after Iran aired footage of its most advanced ballistic missile, the Khorramshahr-4, on state television. The broadcast coincided with the start of renewed nuclear discussions between Iranian and U.S. representatives in Muscat, Oman. Iranian officials described the launch as a demonstration of defensive capability, while reiterating that Iran's missile program is not open for negotiation. The Khorramshahr-4, also referred to by Iranian sources as K-bar, reportedly has a range of approximately 2,000 kilometers. That distance places U.S. military bases in the Gulf, all of Israel, and parts of southern Europe within reach. Iranian media claim the missile carries a heavy warhead and incorporates maneuverability features designed to complicate interception. Footage released by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps showed the missile positioned inside reinforced underground facilities, often described as missile cities. Analysts note that mobile and hardened launch platforms are intended to increase survivability against potential preemptive strikes. Meanwhile, the Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group is already operating in the Arabian Sea. According to U.S. officials cited by Axios and the Wall Street Journal, preparations are underway for a possible second deployment, potentially involving the George H.W. Bush. While no formal order has been issued, Pentagon sources confirm that contingency planning is active. If deployed, 2 U.S. carrier strike groups operating in the Gulf would significantly expand American air power in the region. Dual carrier operations provide greater sortie capacity, overlapping defensive coverage, and sustained strike capability, a posture typically associated with heightened military readiness. Diplomatic efforts, however, continue in parallel. Indirect nuclear talks in Oman remain focused primarily on Iran's enrichment program. Iran has publicly stated that its missile capabilities are non-negotiable, while U.S. officials insist that broader security concerns, including missiles and regional proxies, must be addressed in any comprehensive agreement. This gap represents the core obstacle to progress. Israeli officials have also expressed concerns regarding Iran's missile program, describing it as a strategic threat. Prime Minister Netanyahu reportedly emphasized these concerns during discussions with President Trump at the White House. Regional governments are closely monitoring the situation. Reports indicate that Gulf states have been privately warned that their territory, including U.S. bases, could become targets if conflict escalates. Energy infrastructure and commercial ports in the Gulf are considered particularly vulnerable in any broader confrontation. Security analysts note that Iran's strategy relies heavily on missile saturation, launching multiple projectiles simultaneously to challenge defensive systems. The June 2025 conflict demonstrated Iran's ability to conduct large-scale missile strikes, although Israeli and U.S. defenses intercepted many of those threats. At the same time, Iran faces domestic economic strain, ongoing sanctions, and international pressure. U.S. intelligence assessments suggest that while Iran has rebuilt portions of its missile stockpile, supply chain constraints continue to affect certain advanced production capabilities. For now, both sides are signaling strength while keeping diplomatic channels open. Iran has demonstrated missile capability. The United States has demonstrated naval readiness. The central question remains whether these displays serve as leverage for negotiation or a prelude to further escalation. The coming days will determine whether the arrival of additional American forces reinforces diplomacy or increases the risk of miscalculation in an already volatile region. Stay with us for further updates.